Yo. Yo, what's good?
Man.
What's good?
Right. We back.
We back. We is definitely back. Make sure when you log, I know it's been a while, man. I know it's been a while. Listen, when you're dealing with celebrity pastors,
Principal McConaughey.
when you're dealing with celebrity pastors, your schedule, you gotta alter your schedule a little bit. I was honored to be in the city of Greensboro with the pastor of the city, Arthur Pastor Derek Hawkins.
You were so embarrassing, man. Oh man, you were so embarrassing, man.
Hey, but listen,
Principal McConaughey and Assistant Principal Wilkerson is on him. I feel like I'm in a principal office, which I was notorious for at Nova Rand, so I feel right at home. I feel
good. Hey, make sure if you're watching this right now, man, you share this, please. Like I said, make sure it's gonna be a good one tonight, man. We got a special guest with us tonight, my brother, Reverend Lamar Wilkerson. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. But first, man, I how everybody been doing though?
Let them go first. I'm good.
Hey, but first we gotta say, so we running a little late because I was at the other celebrity pastor's house tonight, which he's going to make an entrance here.
Grand entrance.
I was at the other celebrity pastor's house tonight. He had something going on, so I had to go show support. So he's gonna make an entrance in a little bit, but right now we're gonna let our guest introduce himself, and then we're gonna kind of get into the show.
All right. If you don't know, I'm Lamar Wilkerson. A lot of people know me as my nickname from the neighborhood. Anyone that know my nickname, I'll let you just shout that out. I ain't gonna even say it over live stream. I was trying to stay professional. If somebody else would have said you can, but just thank you for the opportunity. And I look forward to the night, man. I know some great things about to happen, and I appreciate y'all just let me be a part of it.
Well, technically, you already is like you should have been a part of it. We ain't gonna talk about that tonight.
Yeah, we ain't gonna put him on blast tonight.
No, we ain't gonna put him on blast.
I really was gonna do that, but I might.
But I'll go ahead and do it for you. I'll go ahead and do it for you. I feel. I mean, you should be seeing him a whole lot more. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Should have been.
Should have been already, but you will be seeing him a lot more.
Yeah.
I'll take that as love.
Yeah. Hey, man.
That is love. Just let him know. Yeah, we need his voice. We need his insight, just with things going on. I just love to hear the different perspectives, man. So I'm really blessed in all seriousness to have him on tonight. I think it's going to be a great show, and he's going to bring a lot of wisdom and a different perspective to the show tonight. So I'm excited.
Yes. And like I say, man, if you're watching this, please share it. Please share it. Hey, honestly, man, I'm gonna go ahead and say the topic. Hawk was talking today on live, and I already had a topic, but I had to add something to it because what he said, man, it really touched my spirit. He was talking about a storm, and so the topic I had was what are we complaining for? But I want to add to that, what are we complaining for when God already brought us through the storm?
Man, it's good.
What are we complaining for when God already brought us through the storm? Hey, we're just gonna talk tonight, man, because honestly, man, and we're gonna let we're gonna be kind of fun, He is Reverend Wilkerson, but we all family here, man. We know he Pastor Hawkins, but we all family here, man. Yeah. We're gonna let I'm gonna just give y'all my opening statement, and then I'm gonna let y'all go from there. If we look back in the Old Testament. The children of Israel. We look at the children of Israel. They were slaves. They wanted to get out of bondage. God made a way for them to get out of bondage. God even opened the Red Sea and closed it on their enemies so they could get out of bondage. They had made it through the storm, but the children of Israel were still complaining that they didn't have enough. Man. How can you complain when you've been a slave for almost how many something years? And now you're free. And now you are free. So we take it to modern day. We ask God for things. It could be we ask God for a car. God give us a car. This ain't the car I want. What? What? This ain't. First you was walking. Yeah. Now you're riding in a car and you're still complaining. And God made a way for you to get a car. Why as children of God, Christians, do we complain so much? You know what? I'm gonna let Wilt get the floor first, man. Then we're gonna talk. I'm gonna let Wilt get the floor first because he looked like he got a lot.
Yeah, he looked like he about to drop some knowledge. I'm sitting back.
Look, I'm just gonna slide on in here and try to blend in. But you cutthroat tonight.
Yeah.
But but what you bringing is pride and ego. Mm-hmm. Pride and ego is the leading cause of our death.
Man.
And it's when you look at it and we talk about the enemy, you talk about the storm, but it's us who the storm. We the one that's beating ourselves.
Man.
If we allow God to do what he do, the crazy part is God already knows it. If we know he's the beginning and the end, the Alpha and Omega, why are we still fighting? Why are we still fighting with ourselves? Our flesh cannot overpower the spirit.
Yeah, that's good.
And what we're trying to do is allow our flesh to overpower something that is not even worth. So we spend so much energy fighting.
It's good.
And we put our energy on fighting about it and not allowing him to take over. So when we look at what you just saying for us complaining, are we complaining because we scared to grow? Or are we complaining because we want to stay in our comfort zone? My wife would get on me a lot because sometimes I don't even realize what I'm saying because I'm complaining. She was like, why are you being negative? Wow. And when she say that word negative, oh my gosh, it just do something to me because I'm like, I'm not being negative. I'm speaking facts. Like, you know how they would say, I'm speaking facts out there. No, she's like, nah, you speaking negative.
Man.
So when you look at it, I got to sit there and reel myself back in. I'm like, okay, she's calling me out. But she ain't calling me out. She's giving me what I need. And it's a problem that I cannot allow my pride to get in the way of what God has already allowed me to do. So let's touch it just a little bit more, and I'm gonna let Hawk take it. Just like y'all called me out tonight.
Yeah, slightly.
With that being said, I had to take that. But I can sit there and complain about it.
Yeah.
I can sit there and talk about it. I can sit here and pour into people and just give them all types of negative energy. But who is going to be at fault at the end of the day? Is it going to be the people or is it going to be me? And we don't realize how much we kill ourselves more than we hurt others because we're supposed to be walking this life and being an image of Christ. And we don't walk it. We don't do it. We killing those who not even followers.
That's good.
That is.
So we got to be careful what we doing, what we saying, because if we continue to complain and complain, we're gonna continue to miss. So I'm gonna give it back to Hulk, but I just want to give that part that our pride and our ego is killing us.
Man, like, to be honest, like, that was really, really good perspective. It's a definitely different perspective of just, like, you know, the pride and the ego part. But then I think what you said about just comfort, like staying in comfort, is really killing our growth. You know, because we want to live in comfort. I'm gonna go from the perspective of Numbers chapter 11, and Numbers 11 says the rabble among them. And if you ever read that scripture, the rabble was a group of people who came out with the Israelites, but they were not. Their intention was to cause them to complain. So they were never assigned to go into the promise with them, but they came out disguised with them to cause them to complain. If you notice, they never started complaining until the rabble, which were people who were a mixed breed of people who were with them, who challenged them to complain when they were really should be content. So sometimes it's people who will come out with you, but they're not called to go in with you. Like, they're not called to walk in the same place that you're called to walk into. So what is their job? Their job is to keep you from getting to something that belongs to them, because the promise never belonged to the rabble. It belonged to the Israelites. So what did they do? They were just on assignment for a season to get them to complain, but also reap the benefits of how God was providing for them, because they knew they couldn't get to the promise, but they could do everything to stop them from getting to the promise. So some of us have people around us, like, who are stopping us from complaining. And then we have, like Pastor Lamar said, like, then we have our pride and our own personal ego that gets in the way. So now, all right, they stirred the pot, like they got you on your toes talking about it. But now it's your pride saying, listening to what other people who are not going in the same direction that you're supposed to go. So now you start taking advice from people that's not on the same level as you. So now you start taking advice from people that's not even called to go to the same place as you. And now you start listening to that, and then you develop pride and become egotistical. And now you cause a delay. A trip that should have only been 11 days takes you 40 years because of your complaining. So not on this, a few things that happen. I'm gonna give it to Reg. Not only when we get the wrong people around us, it creates the spirit of pride and arrogance, but then it causes delay. So that's when we start complaining. The thing that God really wants to do for you in your life really shouldn't be taking as long as it's taking you, because you choose to view it wrong and you keep complaining about what you're in. It keeps delaying the process of your elevation. So the quicker you deal with you, the quicker God can deliver you from you and get you to the place of promise that God is calling you to.
Woo! What you got? What you got, Wilt? That's good stuff. What you got? I know you want to come back with something. What you got?
I'm just looking at when you talk about it. Just think about Moses.
Man,
if you look at Moses had issues. He wasn't perfect. But just think about if he complained, but he did not allow himself not to move.
That's good.
Just think about if he never moved. What could be like today if Moses would never move?
It's good.
Paul just said it. Boy, that thing got to be obedient. There's no way we can walk this life and not try not to complain. I mean, everybody gonna complain about something.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, they don't realize, even though you're complaining, when you're going to stop and just say, all right, God, you got it. It's time for me to be obedient and just move. Moses had to move. The people was waiting. Like tonight, you got people that is waiting. But if we don't be obedient and we don't move, who we hurting more?
Man, that's good. Like, I don't even know what to say on that, Reg. Dang it.
That is good stuff. Like, I'm in awe tonight because, like, you know, I'm gonna just be honest. y'all know I'm an open book. I've been dealing with a lot the past couple weeks. And when God really tests you to see where you really are. You can talk about it, but are you really about it? You know, some people put on this facade. And I talk to y'all, y'all two of my Christian brothers that I dearly talk to a lot. But I kind of been to myself lately because God really tests me over the last couple weeks. And it was when I left your church, Hawk. I left your church. When I walked into your church and I walked out, God said, let it go.
Man.
God said, let it go because you don't understand the storm that you was about to walk into.
Wow.
Because we can want something so bad and it could be perfect for us in the physical eye. But God looks through the spiritual eye, and we don't necessarily always see through the spiritual eye. But he's seen the storm through the spiritual eye, and he made it to where I could see it through the spiritual eye. And I had to take a step back because I was complaining. I was complaining. And I had to take a step back and really look at that thing like, God is really saving me right now. Because there's nothing more than your spirit. There's nothing more important than your spiritual growth. Spiritual growth than your family. And God was really saving because when I stepped into this situation, who's to say? I probably couldn't do the podcast no more. I probably wouldn't have been able to spend as much time with my family no more. God said, nah, you good right now. I'm gonna let that storm stay over there. I'm gonna let that storm stay over there. You continue to walk over here where it's sunny at. You good. Because when we look through the physical eye, we want stuff so bad, and it's not always good for us. And that's when we start complaining. Like, why can't I have that? Why can't I have that? Why can't I have that? What you got to say, Hawk?
Nah, man, I'm just like, man, I appreciate the transparency because I think we've all been in seasons, and sometimes failure is our greatest protection. Right, or closed doors are our greatest opportunity. And sometimes we miss it because what we want is really not in God's will, but then we pray the prayer, God, whatever your will is, let your will be done. But it's really not his will, it's our will, but we want him to interject and make our will his will. And that's not necessarily it. And so then we complain about when stuff doesn't happen. But sometimes the greatest doors to close in your face is God's greatest protection for you. And I learned that. And walking through this season for 2.5 years, man, for people that know my story, like we worship in another facility. I have nowhere to take my people. Like I didn't understand it, man. I couldn't figure this out. Like I kind of felt like it wasn't fair. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And then trying to motivate people to respond in the midst of that. And the Lord proved me wrong. Like, people started coming at 2:00, and it was really a greater opportunity for them to see what they had been hearing about. So they could go to their church and then check out our church. And then we could do so much more, so many more families. And then so many people who were searching for something began to connect. But what if the storm wouldn't have came? If the storm would have came, it would have never set me up. See, the storm exposed me to greater exposure, but it also washed away some things out of my heart, out of my mind that I didn't even realize that I still dealt with, and sometimes you don't really know what's in you till a storm hits you. And then your response to the storm lets you know if you're really ready for promotion or not. And in the beginning, my response was wrong. My response was like, God, you should, but no one is righteous. Like, you don't deserve anything that God's doing for you. Like, God's grace is sufficient for us. But his strength is actually made perfected in our weakness, meaning our vulnerabilities is where God has greatly strengthened that. So I think for us, before I kick it to Will, like, I'm grateful for the no's. Like, let me be honest, it took me 2.5 years to get to the point. I'm talking about they was delaying. It was supposed to take 6 months to get back in our building. It took 2.5 years. 2.5 years from something that should have took 6 months. And the Lord was like, maybe the delay has nothing to do with them. Maybe I'm delaying them to get you to where you need to be. So, like, I think for anybody watching tonight that just maybe you're in a storm and your storm seems prolonged, man, our timing and God's timing is two totally different timings.
Mm-hmm.
But I will challenge you to do this. Like, what is it that God wants you to learn in the midst of what you're going through? And how can you reverse your complaining to gratitude? Like, how can you be thankful for what you probably feel is the worst season of your life? How can you be thankful in that? Because I promise you, when you learn to be grateful, God will deliver you sooner when you learn to be grateful for every season of your life. And Paul says, whatever state I find myself in, I've learned to be content. Like, the art of the storm is learning contentment. Contentment doesn't mean that you like the situation that you're in. But God, if this is where you have me, I'll stay here until you decide to do something different. Like, that's what contentment is. And God is teaching us contentment through our storms. He teaches us to be content.
Let me say this, and then Wilt, I want you to take it away. Me and Wilt was in my class the other day, and he can contest to this. I said, God knows us, and he know what he has in store for us. Tell me if I'm lying, Wilt. I said, if this situation if this door would have opened up, God probably seen Reggie not gonna serve me like he used to.
Woo!
Reggie not gonna give me the praise like he used to.
Wow.
Because sometimes when we pray and God give us everything we want, we take 10 steps back. We take 10 steps back. When God give us everything we want, we take 10 steps back. And I said, Wilt, did I not say it to you the other day in the classroom?
Yeah, you did.
I said, God knows what's best. I said, he knows what's best. I said, it probably could have been, look, fellas, we can't do this podcast no more. I got stuff going on.
Man.
But God knows, and like you just said, Hawk, like he sets us up for better things. And man, listen, I'm stoned over my words right now. This is good stuff. I ain't think this was gonna come out like this. Go ahead.
That's good. I'm making you hear like, nah, this is a good conversation, man.
Go ahead, Wilt, take it
Y'all
away,
be
man.
blowing it up right there because I'm like, man, we about to take it to church.
Oh man, no, this is good, bro. Yeah.
Oh, Reggie, you was getting all up in the mic, baby.
Hey, man, because I thank God. I thank God for everything, man. And like I say, I will never. And when these things happen to me, man, I always sit back and reflect. And it shouldn't be nothing that you question. And we human. Nobody's perfect, like Hawk said. Nobody's perfect. Like Will said, nobody's perfect. Sometimes you're gonna be like, God, why? Sometimes you're gonna be like God. But once you start growing in Christ, man, you start to understand that God has better things in store for you. He even when it comes to people can be your storm. And you try to wither your way back into the storm, and God done took you away from the storm, and you still trying to call them. Hey man, what's wrong? What's going on? What did I do to you? What did I do to you? And God done took them out of your life for a reason.
Oh, that right there, bro.
Hey.
And we still try to put ourselves right there with them. And God said, let it go. Let it go.
Bro, let's give Christian to back that up. Like, we can talk about Jonah. And Jonah is down there, he in the bottom of the boat, and he causes the storm. And when they figure out, like, what have you done? You didn't obey God. You better answer God, because you and sometimes disobedience will cause a storm to every person around us that they're affected. And to be honest, they would have never made it. They started throwing cargo off of the boat, but it wasn't the cargo, it was the man. It was the man that was disobedient to where God was sending him that caused the storm around him and everybody else. So, like, even there's some things that's hitting you in your life right now. like maybe you are the cause of stuff happening because of your failure to obey what God is calling you to do. Like Jonah's call was to Nineveh, but he rebelled. He didn't want to go. So until he said yes, the yes was like, I'm a cause this ship, and then I'm gonna put you in the belly of a whale, and then I'm gonna cause you that whale only can spit you up when you say yes. So some of the situations that we're in right now, we're never gonna come out of it until we say yes to God. And I appreciate what you're saying tonight, and just what y'all saying tonight, because I think so many of us, you know, we have this perception that we have it all together. Like people look at us and think that, man, we really got it all together. Like we don't. I mean, I've learned more from my failure than, you know, my success has. I've received and reached a certain level of success based upon my failure. My lowest moments gave me wisdom. Like, you know, this wisdom was given to me by the storm. Like, because you don't know how to navigate until, like you say, some people you want to be with you on this walk. Like some people you want it to be with you and doing the things that you're doing. But to try to bring them in the place that you said yes to, but they didn't, will cause a storm around you. Like sometimes we just have to be careful, man. Your failure is what moves you forward into the purpose of God and the plan of God, man. So I know Will got something to add to that, man. But you know, this is good stuff tonight, y'all. Man. For real, like this is really good stuff tonight. Seriously, it's for me.
Ooh,
me too.
For you, for me, it's because I'm telling you, we stepping on some toes over there. Because you don't, when we move and we start to do what God is showing us to do, I had a hard time of trying to get a rope and get my people a part of my ship to the boat I'm on.
Man.
And we don't understand that it's a season for it.
Man.
God is putting you on a boat. He putting you on a platform. Like I told Reggie, I said, look, he put you on a platform to do what you're doing. I'm not telling no one else that they podcast going to be just like yours or anything else. I say, but it's something particular about your podcast that is going to have you to separate.
Man.
And people is going to come to you and you won't have to learn and differentiate between, I can't bring you on my boat right now.
Man.
Back.
Whoa.
I can't let you run my boat right now. You're going to have to step back.
He said that now.
I can't allow you to be a part of me right now. You're going to have to step back. Like my boat is only for so many people to carry. God gave me the boat.
Good God.
So if I'm on this boat and I'm in a storm and my storm is only for a season, see, that's what people don't realize. It's a season.
Man.
If you look in it, it says season, appointed time. If he appoint that time to you, that means he appointed to you and not to whoever else. And then when it's time for you to go into that storm, you are already equipped with the people and your source to carry you through the storm. It's our thing that we carry baggage. Everybody know when you carry the baggage and you know how heavy it can get. Yeah. A man carrying the baggage for somebody else that ain't even yours. Because you carrying their baggage and you realize like, why this thing is so heavy on me? Because you ain't let them go yet. So you run here carrying suitcases and everything else. They over there chilling, smiling, laughing, enjoying their time. And you steady trying to figure out why I'm in this situation right now.
That's good.
Allowing God to do what he's supposed to, allowing God to show you and continue to follow his path.
Man.
So know what boat you own. And Reggie, you know I'm telling you the truth. This is what we talked about. So we're giving y'all some behind the scenes stuff tonight.
Yeah.
Man.
And understand that when it's for you, it's for you. It's a season for everything. I had to learn it. I learned from my mistakes. I had my time. I had my cries. It's the thing that will hurt you, your fear, everything that makes you is going to make you stronger in life.
That's good, man.
We can't allow the unknown to hurt us.
Man.
That's what hurt us in our walk, in our season, in our storm. You think about it. The unknown. Are we going to pull over and allow the storm to pass? Or are we going to go through it?
Yeah.
It's the unknown. And we don't want to accept that. We don't want to say, you know what? I ain't going to let this unknown stop me from being what I'm supposed to be. I'm not going to let this hold me back. If I know God is with me through the end, He is my light, He is my source, I'm going to go where my light is at. Why am I going to stay somewhere where I know that is not for me? So it's a season of growth. It's a season for everything, but we can't allow something that is seasonal be permanent.
Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah, that's good. This is good tonight. Reg over there in deep thought. That man over there in deep thought. That man stayed off to the moon.
Hey, they got some behind the scenes stuff tonight.
This is good.
Hey, it's two things I'm thinking about right now. What Wilt just said and that plate I got from Pastor Taylor house.
Oh my God.
Hey, since you the principal and I'm the assistant, you gotta feed the brother.
Man.
Two things I'm thinking about. But what you got for that, Hawk? What you got for that?
Man, and I'm sitting up here. I'm reading a comment about baggage, like, and it's kind of hard to go through storms when you're already carrying your baggage, and then you try to put the baggage of somebody else's stuff on your boat. You know, how many times did Paul long to go to Rome, but he was shipwrecked so many times? Because sometimes God is not concerned about our longest; He's more concerned about His plan. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes the things that we desire is not in His timing. So what we do is, though, in the process of that, we'll start adding baggage on. Like, we'll add different things on other people's problems, other people's situations. And now you start feeling the weight of everybody else's stuff and you trying to carry your stuff. Most of us are just bogged down by other people's junk. Like, we're carrying so much. You carry your family stuff. You carry, you know, your relational stuff, like all that stuff you got going on. And it's really slowing you down. I know for some people watching tonight, like, how much better could you be if you were not handling everybody else's baggage? How much further along would you have been if you would have like delayed and stopped the relationship that was ineffective? Put your time into people who really didn't care about your dreams, or like incorporated your time in a relationship that didn't work out. And that, listen, you invested time in stuff. That time is something that you can never get back. But you invested in the baggage. Watch this. Thinking that you were going to be the one that can help someone that don't want to help themselves. And that's what we have a tendency to do. Like, you spend all of your energy, like, really, like, trying to help somebody else out. But if a person, let me say this, it is impossible to see more in a person than they see in themselves.
Impossible.
Right. And some of us have such, like, we're just good-hearted people. You know, good-hearted people, you doing overly and above for your kids who don't appreciate you and respect you. Like, you doing more than enough for no good men and women who don't value your time and what you do for them. You know, like, you don't need that baggage in this season. Like, listen, you need to be light. And I came tonight to kind of help lighten your load on some stuff that you're going through, because they're causing you to complain. Listen, can I say this and I'm done? You was happy before the relationship. You was happier before you started carrying somebody else's baggage and then look, trying to help to birth somebody else's dream who won't have nothing to bring to the table. We can't bring a table if you don't have wood. We can't build a table if you don't have tools. You want me to buy the table, build the table, and then put food on the table too? No, we can't do that. In this season, not in this season. Not in this season. Not today. So guess what? I'm not allowing you to dump your baggage on me in this season, like, because your complaints, you rabble to me because I wasn't even complaining until I met you. I'm done.
Oh my God. It's time to drop it, man. Hey, that's it.
Hey, most of the times, man, it's just like we signs. We when the storm come, what's the first thing you see is clouds.
Woo.
You see clouds. You might get then you get a little wind.
Mm-hmm.
Then the clouds get darker.
Let's go, Reg. Come on, preach.
As the clouds get darker, then you get a little drizzle. then you look at your phone. It say it went from 20% rain to 80% rain.
My God.
Okay.
And we still trying to walk outside knowing the storm coming. Hey, I'm gonna give y'all something. I was at work the other day, and then I'm gonna give it to Will. I was at work. One of my homeboys came upstairs. He said, "Yo, it's a storm coming." I said, "Hey, I gotta get home." Seen the clouds, and I know I'm 15 minutes down the road. Seen the cloud, walked outside, felt the rain,
Man.
and look. And look, something said, Reggie, you need to sit in this parking lot. You don't need to drive down there. You don't need to drive down that highway. I said, no, I'm going home.
Yeah.
Got on the road, had to pull over.
Come on.
When I was already in my safe zone.
Well, you talking real good right now, though, Reg. You preaching tonight. Reverend McConaughey, let's go.
When I was already in my safe zone, I said, no, I'm about to step out in this storm because this is what I want. And we don't have to do. God is telling you don't have to do that.
That's good, man. That's good.
You don't have to do that. See, I seen it was dark too. Cloud was dark, man.
Good.
I'm steady trying. And look, don't let your ties be bald. Don't let your tie. And that's for y'all when y'all in a relationship. They done drug y'all all through the mud. When you're in these relationships, they done drug you through. That could be friends, boyfriend, girlfriend.
Well, you own it tonight.
They done drug you all through the mud. Your feet hurt. Feet hurt. You still trying to stay there beside them. Man, look at me. Hey, look, I'm done.
Why you drink that water like that? Why did you drink that water?
He over there sweating hard now.
Oh my God!
What you got for him, Will?
Man, that's good, boy. Y'all brought it tonight.
Oh man, hey, I didn't know, man. Look, I did not know. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. It's something though. You made me really think about certain things. Why do we listen to broken people? It's like, if you broken, why am I go to another broken person?
Wow.
What kind of energy am I about to get from another broken person?
Man.
Now, I ain't trying to call nobody out, but I just wondering, why would we go, if you broken, this is what y'all talking about tonight, and I'm going to somebody else who's broken, what kind of negative energy, what type of situation you putting yourself in? Because right now, you're about to be in quicksand.
Man.
People too busy, and I hate to go here tonight with that, but I will for just a split second. Republican, Democrat, I hear 100 people complaining about all of that. What a man gonna do for you?
Talk.
So if they broken,
man,
the person beside me broken, you all messed up because you looking for the wrong person.
Man.
Anybody can tell me one thing. Give me any person for debate. Y'all know how the first one and the second one. I didn't hear one person speak about the man, the source, who brought you here.
Show didn't talk about the source.
So, but we so quick to talk about what the man is talking about, but nobody talking about the source.
Well, y'all bro, preaching tonight.
But
that's the offering plate.
At the end of the day, that's what we doing. Why won't we just flood the social media and everything, and talk about the source for the change, and talk about two broken people?
Man.
Because they ain't gonna make you any happier. You could still be broken after everything is all said and done. Yeah. You could go to church. I'm gonna try to stay away from it a little bit, but I'm gonna go there with the church folks. We church folks.
We church folk. Talk to
we church folks, right?
Speak, man of God. Speak, man of God.
I don't know where you broke. We got a nasty mouth. We say we feel a certain way about somebody. We hating on them. We do any type of thing. But then when you walk in the church, you cannot receive the word coming from the man of God. You allow all of this baggage and all these people broken to stop you from receiving.
Woof.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out if you really trying to get through your storm, and we know it's for a season, why not connect to the source and his resources?
On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Man, good. Look.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
Bro, I can't mess with y'all tonight. Y'all ain't come to play tonight. Y'all came to slay some stuff tonight.
I'm just
here.
Look, at this point, we just pressed the offering, and I mean, it ain't nothing else you can really. I'm gonna say this though, and I'm done. I heard a sermon. I woke up the other morning, probably like 2 weeks ago, and I heard a man from Africa preaching on keys, and he was talking about, does your house key open up your car door? They're like, obviously not. What does it? And we talk about having keys or access to the kingdom. And what happens is, and it was like, how many people do you know that pray, that have mantles to pray, but they're broke? Like their mindset is broke. It was like, because they have a key for prayer, but they don't have the key to wealth, or they have the key to wealth, but they don't have the key to knowledge or wisdom to hold it. It's like, what happens is sometimes we only hold the key of complaining, the key of bondage, the key of, low self-esteem or whatever it is. But you can utilize a different key. But you also have to know that sometimes you can connect to people that have the key that you don't have key to give you access to the key that you need. Our job is to connect with people that have the keys that we need. This podcast is a key. The relationships that you have is a key. Whether it's a student that's watching this, whether it's a young man or a young woman that's watching this, you have the necessary keys around you. You just don't utilize the right key. So, the thing is, I think in closing for me, it's just like, all right, it's great that we have all of this, and you're going to see the same stuff. And can I be honest? Some of you have every reason to complain about your situation. You have every reason to complain. There's everything going around you that you could complain, but that doesn't mean that you should complain. You got to see the pros in every situation. You have to see the good at everything. If Romans 8:28 is true, that all things work for the good of them that love the Lord and the call according to his purposes, that means that every single thing that happens, good and bad, is still working for you. So we have to figure out, even in the midst of chaotic situations or what assumes to be chaos, I'm on the winning side at the end of the day. I'm literally on the winning side. And it's not even something that I say cliche. I'm really on the winning side. It's really nothing that you can work against me that's not working for me. So why am I going to complain about something when I already know the story? I know how this story ends. And I love what both of them brothers said. Storms are temporary. You make them permanent because your mindset stays in negativity. So look, you keep yourself in bondage with your thinking. You can be like the Israelites. Remember what we said early on. This trip was only supposed to take 11 days. It was an 11-day trip. You made it 40 years. Walking around the same, watch this, walking around the same mountain, seeing the promise, but never having the mindset to shift into the promise.
Ooh.
Like you can see it. You're so close to coming out of what you're in right now. You're so close to breaking that generational curse. You're so close to getting past what stopped from your mom or what was passed on from your father. You're so close to seeing it, but your mindset can never shift to kingdom. So you keep staying in religion. You start keying it, all that stuff that's keeping you in bondage. You'll never be able to break free until your mindset begins to shift. So my closing thought for the night for me is like it's more so about shifting your mindset, than also like shifting people. I'm gonna be honest. When your mindset shifts, people automatically shift because they don't like your thinking. Your thinking starts to change. You start attracting a different type of people. So when you start changing your mindset, you automatically, like new people start to come because you're not there anymore. So why are you looking for the living amongst the dead? Like, come on, man. Like, I'm not there anymore. Like, I moved past that. And some of you are still holding on to your past and people don't even know you walked into a future. Listen, whatever you do, man, shift your mindset and everything else will take care of itself.
Man,
I'm gonna let Wilt go last. I'm gonna just say this: don't let your storm surround you.
Whoa.
Don't let your storm surround you, man. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. Like, this was good. Like, this really touched my soul tonight. And and it's funny how it's not funny, but God always seemed to get you to the point where you need to be, because Hawk got on Facebook today and I just happened to scroll. I just happened to get on Facebook at that time and he was talking about a storm, and that wasn't even a part of what I had going on tonight, but God said add it. He said add it, because you yourself was in a storm and it's a bunch of other people out here that's in the storm and they don't know, they don't have the tools to really they don't have the umbrella to block the storm. So this was good tonight, man. This was good.
It was really like good, man. Like I thoroughly, like, for me, I'm gonna say this to Lamar because I want him to, bro, you definitely have something to share. You definitely have a different perspective than any of us. Like, and that perspective is needed, So whenever, the Lord you get free time to be on here, man, I would love to have you, frequent this, because you just give a different perspective, man. And we need that. Like, we don't have it all. We only see in part. The scripture says we prophesy in part, we see in part, we know in part. Right. So we don't know it all. And so everybody's perspective is what helps us to kind of to get to wholeness, man. So I thoroughly, man, I thoroughly and just enjoy having you a part, man. It was fun, and it was deep, contextual at the same time. But I got a lot out of tonight myself, man. So I just want to encourage you with that, man. You did a phenomenal job.
Yes. Don't come to my room no more talking about this podcast. No, but go ahead and close it out, Will. Go ahead and close. What's your closing thoughts, man?
Oh man, I gotta first once again say thank you. If I'm trying to stay humble, as I don't know how. If when you in the right place, when you connected, you could feel out the spirit. People talk about the energy. I'm talking about the spirit.
Right.
And it's a thing that we as people have to understand and see that, and don't always get it mixed up with someone's energy. So tonight, and I will say this in front of everybody, I don't mind. And I was supposed to be doing something like this as an original podcast. Don't allow your fear to block you where you're supposed to be doing in life.
You confessing?
I'm saying that part. I had some work to do. I had some stuff going on.
Okay.
But anybody that know me, I'm like a person behind the scene. Like when they came into the ministry, it was like, dude, I'm wrestling with it. I'm complaining. I was throwing any excuse I could think of to sit there and do my trial sermon.
Man.
So I want people to understand it's not supposed to be a comfortable ride. I never seen in the Bible to say anything was just comfortable. Nobody is perfect. There's only one person in the Bible that was perfect.
That's good.
So many people messed up. So I'm saying this tonight to let people know what's behind the scenes is in front of you tonight. Now, I told Reg, I said, look, I'm on it. Whenever you need me, if I'm supposed to start doing it from now on, that's what I do. I don't mind that because this is something that I got to do what God is telling me I'm supposed to have done 6 months ago.
Amen. No, I'm
I just want people to, I'm going to say that. At the end, though, I do not want no one to leave from tonight. And my daughter, it's crazy because my daughter said this. She said, y'all going to get on there and start preaching. I said, what did you get that from? She said, anything that you get connected to, it just start going. And she said, watch, y'all going to start preaching tonight. Right. Little bit, I'm going to tell Hannah that she was right. But to end this thing out tonight, I just want to say, look, don't allow your temporary to be permanent. You in a temporary state, but it's not permanent.
It's good. That's good, man.
I'm gonna leave it right there, Reg. Because
that's good
temporary,
stuff.
Permanent.
Hey, this was a great show tonight, but like I say, man, shout out to Pastor Taylor not being here tonight, man. He's still celebrating
his birthday. Shout out to my brother, my big brother's birthday, man.
Yeah, he told me he was coming on here, but I know he probably over there eating them ribs and lasagna, which I'm about to go smash right now. I'm about to go smash right now. But hey, man, I appreciate everybody that watched tonight, man. I thank God for Pastor Hawkins and Reverend Wilkerson. Listen, please share. If you're watching right now, please share. This was good stuff tonight, man. This is great stuff tonight. Hey, but we'll get with y'all later, man. And God bless, man.
Let's roll.